Welcome to our website. My name is Tim, and my wife Helen and I have been involved in missions in Africa for the last 30 plus years. And at this time I'd just like to tell you some jungle tales of some of our experiences in Africa. Now, a lot of times you will meet missionaries in Africa, and if you have any question about whether they truly have been in Africa, you just ask them if they have a good snake story, because any missionary that has been in Africa for any length of time has a snake story to tell. So this time I'd just like to tell you one of my stories that's happened to me involving a snake called the black mamba. And this happened while I was going out to a village in Africa to do a Christian education seminar. And as I got to the village, it was a little bit of a drive. It took me about 3 hours to get out to the village. And when I got out there, they were all welcoming me. The big group of people came around and surrounded me, and they were singing songs and really happy to have me and excited to see me. And I was all happy. And so we got out and we said our greetings and walked and talked around. And then finally this time they wanted to show me where my room would be that I would be sleeping in. And because of their hospitality and their very gracious spirit that they have, they actually emptied out one of their mud huts, a mud hut rounded, made out of mud had a grass roof, and they had emptied one of them out so that I would have the whole hut to myself. And so the pastor there, Pastor Dengamo, walked me into the house, and he was showing me the different rooms, the salon, the little extra room, and showed me back to where my little cubicle hole of a bedroom would be. No doors on it, just had a cloth curtain over the doorway. And as I got up and I pulled the curtain aside, or the pastor pulled the curtain aside to show me my room, I looked down, and right at my feet, not more than a foot, 18 inches from my foot, was this black mamba curled up. Now, black mambas are one of the most dangerous snakes in Africa, and it's a very dangerous poisonous thing. And there it was, sitting there right by my foot. And being the brave man that I am, and not afraid of anything, I go, "Ah, a snake!" and the head. But of course, I surprised the snake just as much as it surprised me. But me, really quick of foot as I am, because I'm so light. Okay, never mind that one. Anyway, so there's a snake right there, and I went and I stomped on the head, and I got the head of the snake under my boot, and I started twisting and doing a little twist on the head, hoping to kill it. Now the floors in there they just have dirt floors in there. It's just very similar to this, just dirt on the ground, and so I'm doing this and I'm grinding it into the ground. And the snake is unwinding and it's coiling and it's writhing and it's wrapping its body around my leg. And it's pretty exciting, but I'm kind of wondering, now what am I going to do with this snake that's under my foot? Pastor, now Africans, even though we ourselves have a great fear and respect for snakes, as much as we fear snakes, Africans are 10 times more afraid of snakes. And rightly so. They have lost a lot of their children and family members to snake bites that they've run across, and so they have a great fear of snakes. And so when the pastor sees the snake there and sees that I have the snake head under my boot, he's panicking. He starts panicking, and he grabs my arm and he's pulling me. He's trying to pull me out. And I'm not going to move because I am pretty smart, and I know that if I take my foot off the snake head, it becomes much more a different situation for me. So he's trying to pull me off the snake. And I said, no, no, no. Now, you have to also understand, one of the other reasons is that the Africans have this idea that the snake tail hits you, it's just as bad as if it bites you. So he's actually afraid of both ends of the snake. But I know that that's not true, and that's just an idea that they have. And so he's trying to pull me off the snake, and I'm going, no, 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 leave me, let me go. Go get a machete. Go get one of these machetes like this. And then we'll just chop off the head, and then the snake will be dead, and the whole story would end. And so finally, after much persuasion, I finally convinced him that he needs to go run out and get a machete. So he runs out into this village, and a lot of people are out there wondering what's going on, and they hear this little ruckus going on, and he yells out there, he runs out there and says, "Help, find me a machete, quick, there's a snake killing the missionary." Now, as I heard that, I'm thinking, no, I actually thought I was the one killing the snake, but somehow he conveyed to the idea that to the village that the snake was killing the missionary. Now, interesting enough, he was still running around trying to find a machete, but everybody decided, apparently, because of the news that they got, they wanted to see what a missionary looks like when he's dying, apparently, because all of a sudden the room filled with people trying to look at this encounter that I had with this snake still writhing around my leg, and I'm still kind of grinding it into the ground, and the people are coming in to see, and they'll go, oh, and they're all like that, and they're all afraid, and so, but I'm still waiting for this machete to come, and finally the pastor comes running in there, and he has this machete in his hand. He's in there, and I say, here, pastor, hand me the machete, and I'll just kind of chop the snake's head off, and then the whole thing will be over. But pastor, he's still in this panic mood, and he's coming in there, and he just starts swinging, and so he swings down, he's got this machete, he swings down there, and he misses the snake, and he lands right on my boot, and he slices my boot, and luckily, just like these boots here, they were steel-toed boots, so he dented the steel toe, and he cut through the leather base, dented the steel toe, and he was swinging hard, and it hit there, and it hurt. Oh, that hurt. Oh, and so I don't know about you folks, but when you stub your toe or whatever like that, I always kind of intend to raise my foot. I would go, ah! So sure enough, he goes down there and he swings and he hits my boot. He cuts through there, and it hurt. Like, I'll get out, and I go, ow, ow, and I lift my leg up. I go, ow, 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 and hopping around on the snake. Well, now all of a sudden the snake is free, and I know I'm not that light of a person, a little bit on the heavy side. And so you would think that, with a 200 plus pounds of weight on the head of the snake, that it would have probably done the number on it. But that snake was still not dead. And so when I took my boot off of the snake, that snake, he kind of shook his head and go, whoa! I have a big headache. Now, he wasn't angry anymore, because he was subdued. But he was afraid. He wanted just to get out of here. And all of a sudden, the snake just kind of shakes himself, and he just makes a beeline right for the door. Now, you remember all the villagers had come in to see what's going to happen with this little fight between me and the snake. And so all of a sudden, they see the snake coming at them, and they start jumping. It was very hysterical at the time to see all these people. They're falling over each other, trying to get out of the way. And the snake zooms out the door, and he heads off into the jungle, and no one gets the snake. No one saw the snake or killed the snake. And the snake got away scot-free. I would think that probably it died of a headache after later on, but I don't know. No one ever found the snake, so who knows. But I walked around for the rest of that weekend with a very, very sore foot. And I'm just hobbling around, and I would teach my seminar, and with a very sore foot. Now, interesting, it was kind of interesting, the pastor, the house is cleared out. The hut is clean of snakes now. No one else is going to bother me, but that pastor was very adamant that he was not going to let me sleep in that mud hut. And so he takes me out, and he says, no. And I said, no, it's okay. The snake is gone. It's okay. I'm all right here. And he says, no, we're going to put you in another room. So he brings me over to another hut, and he walks me in. And as we go into the hut, all these images of now snakes in there. And so he goes in there, and he pulls back the curtain, and that is the end of the story. And so it is with a lot of pleasure. I hope you enjoyed this Tales from Africa and my snake story. It was a pleasure telling you this story, and I hope that you enjoyed it. Well, thank you for watching me tell the story of the Black Mamba. And it's been a pleasure to be able to tell this to you. Where I'm hoping to be able to have a new story on every month. So please come back and visit our blog and to see what happens in the future. And remember to pray for Tim and Helen Smith, Covenant missionaries with the Evangelical Covenant Church, in working ministering in Democratic Republic of Congo. Thank you again.